548 days without drinking alcohol. But I would like to premise this video by saying this is just my experience of quitting alcohol and how it was and how it is now. And by no means I'm trying to judge anybody that's still drinking alcohol. And I'm not trying to demonize alcohol either. I felt like my drinking was getting out of hands. I had to take a break. So if you do have control over that, more power to you, my friends. There's 4 main things that changed in my life in the past year: social, financial, general health, and mental health. And I don't think this video would be complete if we didn't talk about some of the benefits of drinking, but we'll do that a little bit later. And the big question is, am I ever gonna drink again in my life? But first, Jesus Christ, I didn't think there was so much of it. Obviously, everybody's gonna have a different experience when quitting drinking, depending on how long you've been drinking for, how much you drink, the people you hang out with, the predicament you find yourself in. But since we all have the same emotions, chances are that we'll end up experiencing similar challenges when sobering up. But I can only speak for myself and my personal experience, and hopefully it could help you out if you're in the process of quitting drinking, or maybe you're just curious about what it would be like to be sober for more than a week. And when I say for more than a week, that includes you. Yes, you that drinks only 1 or 2 drinks a day. Because we really underestimate the power of these sentences. I need my glass of wine to unwind. I need my drink at the end of the day to relax. Without my drink, I can't sleep. Oh, it's okay to have a couple of drinks during dinner. I'm not even drunk. And these are all things I used to say too. The thing is, they really get in your head and subconsciously make you more addicted to the funny juices. I was a bartender for 10 years of my life, and I was partying 7 days a week, 365 days, for all occasions. Wedding, funerals, birthday parties, dates, a day off, a regular day. I mean, alcohol was in every aspect of my life, and I wouldn't even think about going somewhere if there would not be booze there. And I remember vividly the first break of alcohol I wanted to take about 5 years ago. I wanted to do a 2 weeks, just to cleanse the body. Shakes, sweats, nightmares, insomnia for the first week. I never thought I was at that point in my drinking. It's like it creeped up on me, a real withdrawal that I've never seen coming. This was my first break of alcohol. Post bartending, in my worst years, I was drinking about 2 bottles of wine, 2 big cans of triple up IPA beer, and about 3 fingers of scotch every day. Starting around mid-afternoon, but on my days off, wasn't rare I would start at 10 a.m. Clearly, I wasn't happy in my life, and I needed to make a change. So I made a deal with myself that I couldn't drink more than half of the days of the year. And I know it sounds silly, but think about it. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that made deals with himself to make me feel like I had some sort of control over my drinking. Oh, I'm only gonna drink every other day. I'm only drinking on weekends. Only when socializing. But then comes the weekend, binge drink for 2 days, and you find reason to socialize every day. That deal didn't work out, obviously, and I started drinking again every day, maybe 2 months after that. Fast forward to 2023, I just wanted to do dry January, just a month to clean the whole body. And here we are, a year and a half after. It felt so great after a full month. I wanted to see how my life could change if I kept going. Funny thing though, when you try to better yourself, it pisses off a lot of people around you. Just some examples that comes to mind. I was deemed not fun enough because I wasn't drinking. I was called by close friends painfully straight, that I should make myself suffer like this by not drinking. And people told me that what I projected was I thought I was better than them for not drinking. And if that's the case, obviously I apologize, but that was never the intent. You would think that in your 40s, the peer pressure stops. Actually doesn't. And why would you say shit like this to your friend that is trying to better themselves? Think about that. Alcohol is the only drug that you need to have an excuse not to do it. It's like me going to a party, whipping out a bag of crack and say, hey, you want some? And you go like, no. And I look at you and why not? It's just a little. See how it doesn't make sense? And it's funny how when you're asked if you want to drink and you say, no, thank you, I don't drink, people will start justifying to you how they don't drink that much, how they have control, trying to convince you or pretty much convince themselves that they don't have a drinking problem, while you're there listening to them thinking, why the hell are you telling me all this? I don't care if you drink or not. Oh yeah, I was dumped as well for not drinking. Not for not drinking, but for being too boring because I wasn't drinking. The only difference really between a drinker and a non-drinker is the non-drinker doesn't care if you drink or not. I guess having this control over yourself is intimidating to some people. I completely understand where they're coming from because I used to be there too, and I too did not pursue a relationship because she wasn't drinking. She was putting in my face that I had a problem with drinking. She wasn't saying anything. She didn't do anything. She was just not drinking. But by not drinking and me being with her, I was like, I really have a problem with alcohol. I wasn't ready to stop drinking at that point, so I just found some dumb excuses like, oh, I want to share my wine with someone to kind of break it off. I really think I was jealous over how much control she had of being a non-drinker. So overall, it took about 4 months for people to leave me alone. Like, oh, why won't you drink? You did your month off, so why aren't you having a drink now? You're not as fun, and you know, all that bullshit. Now, I want to mention something 2 seconds, and that's about Sister Rose. I made a first video about this, about my first month of not drinking, and she wrote a nasty message. Sister Rose, that was not nice. She said, since I wasn't a raging alcoholic, that I shouldn't be talking about drinking, about quitting drinking, because it could hurt some real alcoholics that are trying to quit for real. I don't remember the exact message. So, no, I'm not a raging alcoholic. I just thought that my habit got out of hand. It doesn't matter in what stage you're in. If you think you're drinking too much for yourself, you take the proper steps to quit your drinking. And for me, one of those things was talking about it. Oh yeah, Sister Rose, thank you for the view. Now let's address the benefits of drinking, because I think it's worth mentioning. There's 2 things I can think of, is the social aspect and the creative aspect. Signing a deal over a glass of whiskey, feeling more loose and joyful, letting your guard down and making new connections with people. Removing social anxiety before going out, before a date, before a business meeting. Feeling of acceptance that you belong in a group. And also helps release creativity. I remember when I would have a couple drinks, I would start thinking outside the box of like new project. 99.9% of those projects never see the light of day because the day after the euphoria is gone and you're thinking more about your hungover than the project and the great ideas you had while you were drinking. But you could do all these things without drinking. You just need a little more self-confidence. There's always going to be those people that's going to make you feel a part of the group because you're not drinking. But at some point you need to move past that, because I'm certainly not going to do something that I think it's not good for me because you feel insecure about yourself. I can honestly say that my social life is pretty inexistent now, but that's solely by choice. I feel like I've wasted so much time before, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad experiences. It was all fun and giggles when I was there, but now I moved on. I decided to let go of my social life to focus more on myself and my careers. I'm not great at math, but I'm good enough that I had calculated approximately how much I was drinking every year. And I stopped counting at 12K a year. That's without going out, partying, and restaurants and all that stuff. That's just the booze I was drinking at home. But that was enough for me to put a little break on my social activities. And think about that, when it's income tax season and you wonder, where the hell's all my money? I might have an answer for you. I know it was the answer for me. It was all in booze. And since I think much clearer every day, I've never been so productive in every sphere of my life, and I got my financial in check like never before. Who could join me? Mr. Ori. Say hello. The main driver to quit the funky juices for me was mental health and physical health. And after watching Andrew Huberman's new research on alcohol, it really got me thinking about my alcohol consumption. If you want to see that, because he's probably much better than me to explain what his research is, I'll link it in the description so you could go check it out. At the end of this video, I wanted to take 2 seconds to tell you how much I love you and I appreciate you watching my video right now. This is great. Thank you so much. You can like and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. I'll wait. In my life, I've always ate well and worked out. That's like 2 things I've never compromised. Drinking alcohol, obviously, at some point wasn't really aligned with the lifestyle I was. And as I'm aging, I started feeling some things, new sensations in my body and my mind that I didn't really like. Daily pains, inflammation, tired all the time, kind of like feeling groggy. And I knew alcohol probably had a role to play in that, but I didn't know to what extent. And let me tell you, the correlation between those things and alcohol was much bigger than I anticipated. And also the realization that I've never dealt with my past sober kind of was bugging me and was in the back of my mind. And dealing with your emotions sober after 20-something years drinking every day is pretty incredible. So how do I feel now? With 1.5 years with no booze. I sleep better, my skin looks younger, healthier. I'm much more creative, much more productive. Found out that I had a lot more time to read, work out, learn new skills, start my YouTube channel. I'm also much more patient. My bank account looks amazing, and my self-confidence went up 200-fold. Why? Because I'm taking care of myself so much, and all the things that I am accomplishing and how productive I am, it has no choice but improve your self-confidence. And don't get me wrong, quitting drinking doesn't make life all puppies and flowers, but it sure helps to deal with your everyday problem with a clear headspace. And also, quitting drinking is a little bit boring. You get bored. I know I did. And that's exactly when I realized that drinking takes up a lot of your time. Fortunately for me, it was quite easy. I have so many things I want to do in a day, whether it be painting, tattooing, read a book, make a video. If you want to make it easier on you when you quit drinking, planning things to do during the day so you don't get bored and you don't have that in your mind all the time, it's a great trick. And now the big question, am I ever gonna drink again? Most likely, yes. Very special occasions. Let's say we're sitting down at a meal and you're opening a $20,000 bottle of red Petrus. Yes, I'll have a glass. But 100%, I'm never going back into that daily habit of drinking, as I'm super happy that it's completely out of my mind. But for now, I'm still in the cleaning process of my mind and my body. I'm finishing a second year. Well, I'm already 1.5 years into it, so why the hell not doing another 6 months? And, we'll take it from there. Feels pretty good to be a non-drinker in a sea of drinkers. Gives you a sense of self-control, which seems to be rare in our society right now. I hope this can inspire you. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, please do that. I love answering them. And remember, if you think that good things only happens to other people, well, just become the other. I'll see you next week.